Well, hello, Internet. I'm back with yet another one, and I know you're probably sick of hearing all my Diamond Head reviews, so fuck it. Another Diamond Head record. This is not a single this time. This is the first EP I've been reviewing in the singles. This is the Four Cuts EP, including Call Me, as they say on the title. And don't you just love that title? Holy fucking 1980s. But you know what? That's cool. That's what was in the day, and it documents it well. Interesting thing here, Sean Harris there, right there, playing, not to be confused with Brian Tyler, right there, playing rhythm guitar. I guess he did that once in a while, but mostly focused on vocals. Of course, the classic lineup as listed on the concert photo back. So this, to me, is an interesting EP for a few pieces. One, it also came in a 12-inch version, is my understanding. There is a 12-inch version of this very EP out there. The other being an American as I am, this record just totally blew me the fuck away for a couple things. One, well, this is one of the first records I owned, silly me, that just has a graphic on the label and then song information on one side. So there's all that. And then the logo. There you go. And you can see my computer. Whoa, this lazy son of a bitch is recording on Photo Booth. So what's interesting about this, and you might have seen it there, is this is a 7-inch, 33 RPM record. So it doesn't sound quite as brilliant, at least to my mind, as a 45 does. 45 just always sounds fantastic. You do apparently get a little bit more bass hit with the 33s, and that's pretty established. And some of those LPs do some, but man, 45s. Eventually, when I get to them, the 12-inch 45s, fuck, just get ready to hear me gush over them. But let's get to the song, review the actual music, and I just talk about the technical bullshit in the media. So on side A, we have two songs, Call Me and Trick or Treat. Call Me comes off of the Living on Borrowed Time LP, which I will say I am a little bit of a Diamond Head fanboy, so I give him a little forgiveness probably where they shouldn't. It does sound very 80s, kind of big radio rock. The label got to him, this isn't the old pure out Diamond Head like you would have had on, say, like Shoot Out the Lights or Lighting to the Nations or Sweet and Innocent. But nonetheless, and it is too kind of one of their radio songs. And there's a part to the end of it where they do the whole "Call Me Baby," and Sean Harris does this big "baby, baby, baby" kind of thing. And it's just Robert Plant. It's so Led Zeppelin right there. Just fuck. Trick or Treat's an interesting song. And I think maybe my record's pretty worn out. It doesn't have the best sound quality to it, and I have a pretty nasty scratch. It still plays, it doesn't skip, but it's got a decent scratch on side B, unfortunately. But Trick or Treat's almost like one of those arena songs with everyone clapping, woo. Very basic written. It kind of follows the same bass line the whole time. So it's one of those. The B-side's where this record's interesting. B-side has Dead Reckoning, which there is an album or EP or whatnot escaping me out there. I know Metal Blade has a release of it. From Heaven to Hell. Heaven from Hell, that's what it's called. And that one has a demo version of Trick or Treat on it. Trick or Treat has a demo version of Dead Reckoning on it that is much more interesting than the Dead Reckoning on here. This is, again, the label watered down one. It's still a cool song. It's a fucking cool song. But it's another one of those ones, if they could re-record it, or, if someone covered it, it'd be cooler. The production really hurts it. And I know in a lot of British heavy metal that you can't really say that because production on New Wave of British heavy metal wasn't that good. But in this particular case, it is produced to be a radio-sounding song, even though it's a really fucking heavy song musically. Dead Reckoning kind of misses it. The feel it could have got. But it's a big song about, nuclear war, a senator selling a briefcase, or something like that. But nice, big, heavy riffs. And then interestingly, they made the decision to re-record Shoot Out the Lights, their debut single. Riff is played a little bit differently on here. It's not as open. They kind of choke it and don't sustain it as much on the last notes of the intro chorus riff thing. So overall, it's different, but it actually, despite the production being very 80s cliche AOR on this, it does really well. It sounds maybe better than the original. It's tighter, it's harder. So I like, and I know I'm going to get someone go, you blasphemous American motherfucker, for saying it. How could you say that that's better than the original single version? And there are two different takes on it, and I love the rawness of balls out of the Shoot Out the Light single from 80, but this one from 1982, when MCA had gotten involved with them, the cut on Shoot Out the Lights on this is just really good, and probably, for me, the highlight of this EP.